Welcome to HoodChampionBoxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Hey, listen, did Shelly Finkle fail Deontay Wilder? Now, I'm just asking because I really want to hear. I want to hear what the boxing fans have to say. Because I believe there was a point in time where it seemed Shelly Finkle was really the guy who can bridge gaps between Deontay Wilder and other fighters and promoters to make, the biggest fights possible for Deontay Wilder and get him the most money. Now, Shelly Finkle's been around boxing for a long time. But I'm going to tell you right now, when I see where Deontay Wilder is right now, don't get me wrong, he's rich beyond belief. And in a sense, Shelly Finkle, he did his job. But when you really take a look at some of the opportunities Deontay Wilder missed out on and doesn't seem to be able to have the chance to revisit those opportunities, makes you wonder just whether or not Shelly Finkle, if he's really handling business the way he should be. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is when I look at AJ, Hearn, Wilder, Saudi, man, I'm a little frustrated for Deontay Wilder too. I mean, you could hear the excitement. I mean, he was exuding satisfaction. Had a very positive outlook on his boxing career while he was in Saudi. In the interviews he was doing, talking about, man, I just wish I could tell y'all. I can't tell y'all how he thought he was gonna be fighting 2-3 times. This year, and fighting in Africa and fighting in Ghana. And when we look at it, Shelly Finkle was with him, but he has not fought. He's been inactive. And I'm just sitting here wondering, right? I understand they say if the fighter wants to fight, then the fights happen. Well, Deontay Wilder seems to want the fights, but the fights aren't happening. Now, I truly believe that fighters are scared to fight Deontay Wilder. I truly believe fighters are scared to get hit by him. And even if the fighter's not scared, I believe their promoters are very concerned about putting their fighters in there with Deontay Wilder. Now, Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. They played Deontay Wilder. Let me tell you something. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua never had any intentions of fighting Deontay Wilder. I don't care what you say. They can talk about skills, challenge, promotion. They can talk about money issues. They can talk about trying to, reschedule the fight or kind of plan to fight for Dubai or somewhere in the Middle East at a later date. They can say what they want. They're just dangling that carrot in front of Deontay Wilder. And my thing is, okay, they obviously recognize that these Anthony Joshua and Hearn doesn't want to fight him. But when you go back to where Deontay Wilder had the opportunity to make that $100 million, it makes me say, damn, maybe Wilder should have took that money. I understand there was some back and forth going on and some secret squirrel business going on with the money and Eddie Hearn and Zhang not being straightforward and candid about the kind of money AJ was going to make. And everyone's going to have their opinion. There's different times where Wilder and AJ started to have discussions. And, I'm not here to peel all those layers back. I understand where Joshua said, give me, X amount of money. Shelly, Finkle, and Water supposedly came up with the money. I understand all that. I understand, Eddie Hearn saying the 2-fight deal. Hey, take it right now, and Deontay Water and Finkle walking away from that. And I understand. I know the background of Water and AJ. But I do kind of feel like, when you look at it now, it's like, damn, maybe he should have took that $100 million. But at the same time, he ended up, going on to fight and doing what he wanted to do. He made good money with Fury. He got okay money with Brazil and Luis Ortiz, but he made real money with Fury. But outside of that, I'm not really sure, if Deontay Wilder's making the kind of money that I think someone like him, should be making. I mean, this guy is a knockout artist. He's ferocious in the ring. He's must-see TV, and he can't fight. Now, when you look at this thing with Andy Ruiz that's going on, first of all, Andy Ruiz, he's getting Zhang wanted to fight Andy Ruiz, but Andy Ruiz's dad, who's negotiating for him, he wants money that just doesn't exist. So Andy Ruiz is the problem. Okay, with Fury it was a problem, with AJ it was a problem, with Water was a problem, and now with Zhang. They're just delusional people. But I'm gonna say this, right? Should Deontay Water have? Because I thought he was giving Andy Ruiz like $1 million. $4 million plus the pay-per-view, a split of the pay-per-view, and the live gate, and ticket, and all that. Andy Ruiz was going to make good money against Deontay Water. $4 million guarantee. But even though I think Andy Ruiz should have took that money, it's kind of like what Water's doing to Andy Ruiz. Kind of like what AJ and Hearn did to Wilder, Hey, we'll give you this, but don't worry about what we're making. And then Wilder and his team walked away from that deal. But now Wilder's doing it to Ruiz. So my question is, should Deontay Wilder have maybe just said, hey, look, let's just give Ruiz, $6 million. Him and his team say, look, we'll just give him $6 million and maybe make some adjustments on the pay-per-view revenue. And maybe instead of, I don't know, a 60-40 split on pay-per-views, give him 10%. I mean, I don't know. But at the same time, when you start talking about guarantees, if the pay-per-view sales don't do what they expect, you still got to give somebody that money. So I think that's what Andy Ruiz and his dad were looking at. But still, $4 million? $4 million. That's a lot of money, man. But it is what it is. But we just don't see Finkle anymore. We just don't see him. I know he's getting up there in age. I don't know if he's having little health issues or not, but we got to see what's next for old Deontay, because Malik Scott did an interview. He briefly touched up on the whole subject with Deontay Wilder and why he's not fighting and his inactivity. And he did disclose that there are just a lot of fighters who just don't want to fight Deontay Wilder. And I don't think Deontay Wilder is being greedy. I don't think he's being selfish. I think Deontay Wilder's issue more than anything is that, fighters and promoters are like, shit, we're gonna get out here with this guy, knowing that all he has to do is touch me. I could be winning every second, every round, and he just touches me, the fight's over. People saw what he did to Fury. Although he lost, those 2 fights, in particular in that third fight, they saw what he did to Fury, and he hurt. It's not just the 2 knockdowns. In that third fight, Fury was hurting Wilder, but Wilder hurt Fury on multiple occasions, more than just the 2 knockdowns. He hurt Fury a couple times, boy, towards the end of the rounds. And if you're a guy who's watching that, and they're like, hey, fight Wilder, some good money, they probably like, nah, because Wilder could end somebody's career, and that's a fact. But when you have someone like that, to me, you got to market them the right way. I'm not sure if Wilder's been marketed the right way. I'm just being honest. I'm just not sure he's been marketed the right way. But I don't know. Oh, Shelly, Finkle, He need to figure it out. But then again, Wilder says he's his own boss. But I just figured Finkle would have had Wilder fighting, overseas, and I just figured they would have had plan A, B, and C, and D. And when A don't work out, B don't work out, C don't work out, at least they had D and they can pull the trigger. But man, it just makes me wonder, man, what exactly is going on with Deontay Wilder and his team? All that talent. I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, he can't fight, he can't this. Man, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? All that talent, must-see TV, the one-hitter quitter, heavyweight division, and my boy just can't get a fight. Now, what this is telling me, him not fighting, it don't have nothing to do with him. It has to do with, I think, fighters not wanting to get in the ring with him. But some good news for you, in case you didn't know. Zhang is looking at fighting Luis Ortiz or Joseph Parker. And if that doesn't work out, then Deontay Wilder is someone who they'd want to fight. So Joseph Parker, I doubt, is going to get in there with Zhang. Luis Ortiz, after coming off of so much inactivity, depending on the money he's going to get, I don't know if he's going to get in there. But I tell you what, this Deontay Wilder and Zhang fight, boy, oh boy, that fight could be happening sooner than later. And I tell you what, that fight is someone going to die in that fight, man. If they make that fight, I believe that is a pay-per-view worthy fight, because with them two, them like two big, like monsters, you know what I'm saying? King Kong and Godzilla. That's really what it boils down to. King Kong, I think, was American, wasn't he? That damn gorilla was American. And Godzilla was out there in Japan. Not China, but you understand where I'm going with this. That's really what it is. King Kong versus Godzilla, man. And, somebody's going to get hurt badly if they fight. That being said, waiting to see what Shelly Finkle's going to do. Al Heyman, what his team, he's got multiple advisors. What happened in Saudi, just what's going on with this man's career. Because right now he's in a holding pattern, a vicious holding pattern. And he's not getting no younger. That being said, did Shelly Finkle fail Wilder? Or is it really that these opponents, they just don't want to risk getting knocked out by the bronze bomber? I'm in the breeze.